We are getting ready for second half play here at Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. The Chargers leading the Cowboys 14-7. Fred Rogan and Jim Laslovic. And your impression so far of this first half, Laz?
Well, two young quarterbacks who came out playing as if they were going to make reservations in Hawaii for the Pro Bowl. They came out completing pass after pass after pass. Then they hit some trouble. But before they hit the trouble, they put some points on the board.
Well, certainly the Cowboys started very strong. They took the opening kick. They moved the length of the field, and the payoff was Troy Aikman going to Dennis McKinnon. And McKinnon made a very good play to take the ball away here.
Well, so did Aikman. He put the ball the only place he could for this to be a completion. Watch closely. Two defenders leaping in front of McKinnon. But McKinnon, a big guy, goes up and makes the catch. That is a terrific effort by McKinnon, making his first touchdown for the Cowboys and also for Aikman.
All right, then the Chargers took the kick, moved down the field, and went to Craig McEwen, who is normally used in run blocking situations. He made the reception, but the key here, Robert Williams of the Cowboys had been beaten twice previous on this particular drive, and there he is missing a tackle.
That's it. He missed the tackle there. Another defender came over out of position because of that missed tackle. And watch McEwen. Boy, he gets close to that goal line, and he spreads out and dives. And shades of Rocky, he calls himself Mr. Generic because he doesn't have the big speed. He's not the big, strong guy. But watch the celebration. All right, Craig.
Savor the moment. You've earned it. We move to the second quarter, and this coming after a controversial call. The handoff went to Marion Butts, and Butts just simply bowled his way into the end zone to give the Chargers a 14-7 lead, and that's where we stand at the half.
Yeah, the key play in that drive is worth talking about again, because we had trouble in our replay seeing any infraction against the Cowboys, but they were flagged for a pass interference. It was a 41-yarder penalty against them, and it gave the Chargers the ball on the 1-yard line, and then Marion Butts followed it up with that touchdown run.
Now keep in mind, it's tough to determine this because of the angle. We're going to give you a look at it. This is the only angle we have as well. All right, is there contact here prior to the ball getting to the receiver?
And watch where the official is. So even though it's difficult for us to see, he obviously is able to make the call. And Anthony Miller knew right away. So obviously there's something that Miller felt. But again, receivers are going to do that. We even saw the rookie out there doing it.
What do you expect him to say? Of course he was interfered with in the end zone.
It happens up here. Somebody makes a mistake and Fred points at me.
Well, as it turns out now, the Chargers are leading. Let's check the halftime stats and see exactly how it broke down.
The stats, the rushing yards for the Chargers, 58 yards. That's a key. They want to get the ball keep the ball on the ground as much as they can. Passing yards, pretty much the same. The key are the turnovers. Each quarterback has thrown an interception. The interception for the Cowboys a bit more costly because it came from the 10-yard line. So the penalty yards for the Cowboys, 5 penalties, 73 yards. For the Chargers, 4 penalties, 35 yards.
The Chargers will receive the kick in the second half.
Ken Willis.
And it's the rookie out of Kentucky, Ken Willis, to boot it away. Short kick. And there's a lot of running room. Fumble now, loose ball, and the Cowboys have it. It appeared that Nate Lewis grabbed the ball, ran it upfield. He was hit. It popped free, and the Cowboys have come up with the ball. The man with the recovery, number 57, Vincent Smith.
And you can see, giving the ball to Jimmy Johnson, big break. The Cowboys have just now grabbed momentum. There's Bill Bates down there early. He was no factor in the play, though. The tackle from behind jarred the ball free. And boy, for a while, the Chargers just didn't realize where that ball was.
That's the tip drill right there coming into play, and Vincent Smith in the right place at the right time. So Dallas trying to capitalize on a Charger turnover to start the second half. Moves 1st and 10 from the 41. AG in motion. And Aikman goes right upstairs. Well, attempts to anyway.
Yeah, I think he realized that play was going nowhere, and so Aikman did the smart thing this time and threw the ball into the ground. Remember back in the first half, first quarter, he threw the ball. Apparently, somebody had broken off their pattern and went right to Billy Ray Smith in the end zone, the lone interception he has thrown so far. So that was a smart play by the young quarterback.
After struggling last season, Aikman told us yesterday that he did a lot of soul searching in the offseason.
Yeah, one of the people he confided in was his agent, Lee Steinberg, who's handled a lot of quarterbacks, Warren Moon, Steve Bartkowski. He said that Lee was through a lot with Bartkowski, and that helped him a little bit.
2nd and 10 from the 41. Deep drop. And he underthrows the receiver. Going for Dennis McKinnon. Sam Seal had him defensively.
Yeah, Sammy Seal has been under pressure a little bit this game, but he's held up quite well. There's the backup, Steve Walsh, and he is going to be the backup because Jimmy Johnson has made it clear Troy Aikman is the starting quarterback.
It is easy to look at two outstanding young quarterbacks and say Walsh should be playing and Aikman should not be. And if Jimmy Johnson was not definitive in what he decided, there could be problems.
The one win last year for the Cowboys, Walsh was the starting quarterback, a 13-3 win at Washington.
Aikman facing 3rd and 10. We're just underway in the second half. Moving from the 41-yard line. 3 wide receivers in the game. Instead, they go to the quick draw to Agee. He's to the 35-yard line, but well short of the first down. Lee Williams on the stop for the Chargers. Well, what a horse Lee Williams is.
Interesting decision here. 4th down. A lot of teams call this the 4-down area. Lee Williams, yeah, he's the heart of that defense. Big guy, and again, he made the sacrifice when it was necessary. Moved back into a tackle position instead of staying out there at the left end, where of course he could rush the passer and try to rack up the sack. So 4th down, and the Cowboys spread have decided to go for it.
All right, they're moving from their 35. It's 4th and 4. Jimmy Johnson trying to get something going here to start the second half. Aikman has time, and he has incomplete. He had the first down, but the ball was knocked away by Vincey Glenn. Dennis McKinnon appeared to have it, but Vincey Glenn knocked it away, and the Chargers will take over.
I like the call. I like going for it in a situation like this.
So the Cowboys fail to capitalize on the turnover. It'll be the Chargers' ball when we come back.
Same as a missed field goal. That's where they get the ball. I'll pass on it. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Never mind. Good. Yeah. We can't forget that it's hot down there too. Do we have the thermostat down there? Thermometer? Is that all? Is that all?
Is Arthur Cox playing? 88? He's back. Mr. Wizard, help me. If 88 Blue is playing, we've got stories about him.
88 Arthur Cox is on the sidelines.
All right, then we have nothing to say about him. We hate him.
Dare to be rare.
And back here at Texas Stadium, the Cowboys tasting the opportunity to capitalize on that turnover, but gave the ball away. And it'll be Mark Vlasic and the San Diego Chargers now working 1st and 10 from their 35-yard line. Marion Butts up to the 45, just that quick 10 yards. Eugene Lockhart and James Washington on the stop.
He had a terrific game last year against Kansas City. Carried the ball 39 times for 176 yards. And the back he's compared to, as I said in the first half, Christian Okoye, in that game only rushed for 60 against the Chargers.
Well, what the Chargers want to do offensively is give the ball to Butts, have the defense converge, and then open it up quickly to Anthony Miller.
That's right.
Only gave him a pickup of 9 at 2nd and a yard. Caravello in motion. Butts picking up the first down and getting popped pretty good. Again, Eugene Lockhart on the stop, and he picked up some help from Vince Albritton, number 36, who, by the way, went to high school with MC Hammer.
Is that right?
Vince Albritton also has the moves. Can't touch this. Vince Albritton and MC Hammer. They call him Hammer, as a matter of fact, because he went to high school with him. Just kind of an MTV note I'd like to throw in every once in a while. Kind of a get-down guy, huh, Jim?
Yeah. I'm not a big MC Hammer fan. You're losing me on this, Fred. I'll try to hang on.
1st and 10 from the 48. It's Rock Bernstein coming out of the backfield. You can hear that pop up here. Dean Hamill.
Yeah, Bernstein's thinking, wait a second, you block for Marion Butts, I get the ball, and I get creamed by Hamill, and I get creamed by Noonan, and all the Cowboys.
Just listen to the audio here now. See if you can hear the pop down on the field. Check it out.
I love it. That's a thing of beauty.
Now that you're up here.
What a great time of year. Beautiful sounds in the air.
Wow. Answer the phone, the bells are ringing down there. On 2nd and 11. A lot of time, and right through the hands of Walter Wilson. Wilson, the rookie out of East Carolina, turning his head a little too soon before he had the ball.
And you know, Vlasic had so much time, he really didn't want to go to Walter Wilson on that play. And I'm sure, you know, most receivers have this clock ticking in their head when they know, okay, I've been in this zone for a long time. The ball's not coming. It's not coming. I know who is coming, the defender. Here comes the ball. You get distracted when that happens. And Wilson, being the rookie, better learn not to get distracted.
3rd and 11 from the 47. Quinn early in motion. Went for Miller. Good defensive play. It's Isaac Holt, the man who was called for interference in the end zone before, knocking it away.
That was a terrific play by Holt. He kept his right arm off of it, brought his body around, and knocked down the pass. That's a big league play by Holt. And again, he's probably thinking, hey, no penalty here. Should have been no penalty the last time. You see Vlasic with a good, crisp pass, but Holt comes around. And the key on this play, again, is he kept that right arm away from the receiver, so there's no chance of him interfering at all with that guy. Good effort by Holt.
John Kidd in punt formation. It's second punt of the day, standing back on his 32-yard line. And it's Rod Harris deep for the Cowboys. Nice kick. Harris called for the fair catch and makes the play at the 14-yard line. So with 11 minutes and 33 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, the Cowboys will have the ball 1st and 10, and they will attempt to get back in this game and tie it up with the San Diego Chargers. All right, how we sound? No problems?
Jeff, great job. You're doing a great job.
I need to sound a little more ballsy. Well, he didn't even know the MTV thing, though. I feel like a little MTV
MC
note.
Hammer, I know.
MC Hammer, come on, man.
I don't play MC Hammer on my car radio.
Hey, the kids in my office will be loving it. My interns are going nuts. Busting a move, as they say in my office. Busting a move.
I need...
And what is that guy's name? Will Spence? No. Will Smith? Will Spence works for us. It's Smith.
I need younger interns. There's Big Ed White. Now, that's something we should point out, that the tight end coach is a former guard, Ed White.
I thought the tight end coach had one of those pom-poms. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean that. It was bad.
Aikman's missed his last 6 passes.
Thank you. That's a great stat. I'm going to use that coming out if I can.
He's been under pressure a lot.
Okay, well, then you throw that in.
How many sacks?
No sacks.
But a lot of pressure.
Oh, use that. And I'll say you're a liar. Troy Aikman starting 1st and 10 from his 14, but that tells the story. He has not connected on 6 of his last pass attempts. On this particular play, he keeps it on the ground, and the give to Timmy Smith.
You know, they wasted an opportunity with the great field position the first time they had the ball this half, and now here they are back in what has become very familiar territory with their backs to their own goal line.
Jim, let me ask you, because the Charger defense is so strong, and especially that defensive line, are they starting just to beat and pound on the Cowboy offensive line and start to control the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, they are, and that's the key for them, to control that line of scrimmage. But they're getting frustrated. They want to get to that quarterback. They want to start registering some sacks.
2nd and 7 from the 17. Clock running, 10:55 to play in the third quarter. Once again, it's Smith trying the right side and picking up a few yards.
Cowboys very conservative in this situation, and understandably. Here comes Henry rolling in, and there goes Timmy Smith out for the Cowboys, rolling in for the Chargers defense.
Cowboys are 2 of 6 on third down conversions this afternoon.
And Timmy Smith is a story. Last year, nobody wanted him. This year, the Cowboys gave him a chance.
And he started today.
He had that great Super Bowl against Denver when he was with the Washington Redskins, rushed for 204 yards back in '87.
3rd and 4 for Aikman. Here comes Lee Williams. Aikman avoids the rush, but he won't avoid it again. The ball is on the ground.
Henry rolling with the hit after Williams let the quarterback slip away, but Rolling made sure and wrapped his arms, forced the fumble, but it was recovered by the Cowboys.
You pointed out that on a third down situation like that, the Chargers were going to bring Rolling and let him shoot and blitz.
And Rolling just impressed them so much this summer. You know, he has a lot of experience, played with Tampa last year, but again, the initial pressure by Lee Williams, well, he's going to be upset letting that one slip away. But Aikman's good at that. He's a big, strong quarterback, but no getting away from that.
First sack of the game. And Saxon is forced to punt out of his own end zone again. He's 7 yards deep. It's Jerry Mays standing back at his 46. The Cowboys didn't get the playoff. Ran out of time. And there's not much farther back you can go. Unless you kick from the parking lot.
You learn a lot about your punter in situations like this.
Delay half the distance to the goal line, 8 yards to the 4-yard line, still 4th down.
It's his responsibility to count the men on the field. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. The guy in front of him, too, the halfback in that situation, they call him the personal protector. It's nice. I always wanted a personal protector when I played, but linebackers don't get personal protectors.
Saxon will try it again. Watch his back foot. Make sure he didn't step on that line. Got the kick away. Mays called for a fair catch at the 42-yard line.
So the Chargers get the excellent field position, and Vlasic, of course, will try to cash in. At the end of the first half, they were unsuccessful because of the missed field goal by Fuad Revez. So Dan Henning is saying, come on, guys.
And these are the situations where you can see momentum start to shift in a ball game. The Cowboys, with bad field position, forced to keep punting out of their own end zone, and there you see the Chargers with the ball in good position.
No, a light should be going off in that Cowboy huddle because Rod Bernstein is in the game. Tolliver, of course, on the sideline signaling in the plays.
What should we look for?
Well, there's a good chance of a play action here.
Caravello in motion. Here comes Jeffcoat. It's a screen. Oh, he almost threw it to his lineman.
Yeah, the man he wanted to get the ball to was Rod Bernstein.
And unfortunately, Eric Floyd turned around and it was almost, look what I found. The last man you wanted to catch that ball was Eric Floyd.
Jim Jeffcoat has had such a terrific career, but it's been such a secret. Outside of Dallas, people don't know it. Over the past half dozen years, he has 61.5 sacks. He's among the leaders over the past 6 years in sacks, but overshadowed because this team has not performed well.
Had a fine career at Arizona State University.
So look who's in there now, Marion Butts. Will the Chargers go back to the ground?
2nd and 10. You made the call. It's Butts. And I'll tell you, Ken Norton did a good job of wrapping him up, or Butts would have gone for big yardage.
Yeah, Ken Norton. You saw him play collegiately, and you saw how this guy developed. His father, of course, the former heavyweight champ, Ken Norton, a little bit shaken up on this play. Looks like he might have a leg or ankle problem.
Interesting, Norton was involved in some promotion for the ball club, setting things up. There he is.
That's Jimmy Johnson, the head coach, in the middle. Eugene Lockhart on the left. And that is the first time Ken Norton ever had boxing gloves on. And his dad was a former heavyweight champ. Incredible.
On 3rd and 6, Vlasic completes the pass. I think he's got the first down. The reception made by the rookie Walter Wilson, and it's Ron Francis on the hit. Back to Ken Norton. You know, his dad, a number of years ago, was involved in a very serious automobile accident in Southern California. He was thrown from the car, and he suffered some severe brain injuries. It is good to note that Ken Norton Sr., his dad, the former heavyweight champ of the world, is almost totally recovered now, feeling much better. I saw him at a benefit recently, and he looked great, and he's such a wonderful man. It's good to hear that.
Ken Norton Sr. is such a popular man in Southern California. And a lot of San Diegans have adopted him, too, as their own, because he trained there for a while.
All right, they came up a yard short, so now we have a 4th down and 1. 4th and 1 from the 33. Marion, but he didn't get it.
Dan Stubbs on that play, aided a little bit by the pressure by Hamill and the other guys in the middle of that defensive front. That's a huge play by the defense. The Cowboy crowd, I know, has been disappointed because this team hasn't won here for a long time, but it sure is excited because of the type of football they're playing, even though they trail.
Outstanding. Nice, Jim. Very nice. You know, he got out of it nicely. Okay.
Fred's up here, keeps shaking his head saying, I'm no Alzado. What's that mean?
And you never will be, son.
Good father story. I don't know, it's not quite, it's not quite a mother story, but it's a good father story. You know, we've had 2 good father stories, Fred.
We're dropping a few in.
So he's from the West Coast.
Yes. Okay, the superstar and rent-a-car. Are they still the superstar and rent-a-car? What are they? Where's that story about the guy from Dallas that sells the cars? Who was it? Has Willie Broughton played? Where's Willie? When 79 White plays, when that guy goes back in the game, tap me on the shoulder. I want to use that story.
What's Miller done today? That's a good stat. Anthony Miller.
And where's Nate Newton? Oh, Nate
Newton's a good story.
We have Nate Newton we need to do. The Cowboys are on offense now. We need to do 61 and we need to do 68. We have our movies.
And let's remember the Heat.
Okay, and let's remember next week's game, and let's remember the Super.
Has Miller done it? Anthony Miller.
I'll just ad-lib him if you don't have it. Don't worry. I want to do Nate Newton. I want to do definitely Nate Newton.
Anybody else? Any other wideouts caught a ball?
Here we go.
You can see Ken Norton being attended to on the sideline. Looked like he's just suffering from cramps because they're massaging the leg area there.
All right, 1st and 10, Dallas from the 35. Aikman. Over the middle, the pass is deflected and nearly intercepted. Aikman was popped pretty good on the play, and then 3 men downfield had a chance at the ball. Leslie O'Neal, though, delivered a great deal of pressure on Troy Aikman.
And downfield, it was Vency Glenn, one of the big hitters out there for the Chargers. But the pressure was the key here. Leslie O'Neal, number 91. You see Bert Grossman, AG picking him up, but from the backside, too much pressure, and then the big hit.
We were talking to Troy yesterday, and I said, you have been hit a lot more in the pros than you ever were playing for UCLA. And he goes, sometimes I don't even know where I'm at.
That time, Vency Glenn had the chance for the interception. He's wearing these fancy new gloves that have a little bit of stickum adhesive to them.
7 straight incompletions for Troy Aikman on 2nd and 10. That way, and that's it. Forget about it. Jim Tunney says he's in the grass before he can get hurt. Leslie O'Neal got him. Now let's check scores from around the league with the Hertz 10-minute ticker. Gentlemen, start your engines. Chicago knocking off Seattle. Green Bay over the Rams. It is Kansas City knocking off Minnesota on the Hertz 10-minute ticker. You see other scores. Washington pummeling Phoenix. Tampa Bay surprised Detroit. As we continue games in progress, Cleveland leading. The Raiders have come back to lead Denver. Atlanta leading Houston at the half. And that wraps up the rest of the scores. New England leading Miami by a point. Here it's 3rd and 23. 7:15 to play in the quarter. Whistles on the play and a penalty marker dropped at the line of scrimmage.
And again, a lot of pressure on Troy Aikman.
Start, number 61, move before the snap. 3rd down, 5-yard penalty.
Nate Newton, the guilty party, moved before the snap. Of course, offensive players can't move at all on that line. And that's a lot to move, isn't it, Fred? He weighs about 328 pounds now.
I think he does. He came in at about 340, 350, and they wanted him to get down to about 325. They said, look, it's going to cost you $50 a pound.
Yeah.
But if you pay in cash, it's only 25. Now, does that mean A, that these guys are more willing to pay in cash, or B, that this club has a cash flow problem? Those are the questions that we need to examine.
Jimmy Johnson's, the big question for him now is how to protect his quarterback, give him some time to throw the football. Chargers have 2 sacks for 25 yards.
3rd and 28. Chargers with 5 defensive backs. Aikman over the middle to Calvin Martin. He's got the ball, but he is short of the first down. The Chargers were playing prevent defense.
Terrific job by Aikman. He did his part. He hung in there in the face of another horrendous rush. He must have nightmares. The nightmares tonight are going to include number 91, Leslie O'Neal. Again, the big pressure from both sides as he and a couple of his teammates continue to harass Troy Aikman.
20-yard pickup, but still 8 short of the first down. A man who is getting a great deal of work in this afternoon, Mike Saxon, back on to punt for the Cowboys. And again, it's Jerry Mays, deep for the Chargers. Good punt. Drives Mays way back to the 13-yard line.
Penalty flag on top of it.
Bill Bates, special teams captain, down to put the lick on it.
Great punt by Saxon. Well, that's a weapon when you have an offensive a punter like that.
Jim Tunney with a preliminary signal. It'll go against the Chargers.
Yeah, pushing from behind. And it happens so often on special teams. They should almost just include it in every punt return. Okay, we're going to spot the ball 5 yards back because of a penalty.
Illegal use of the hands on the return. Number 22, half the distance of the goal line. 1st down.
Jim, when do you reach that frustration level? We'll talk about that when we come back, because the Cowboy defense is pinning the Chargers back deep. Chargers will have the ball when we come back to Texas Stadium. I was just going to say when. No. But I mean, I didn't really know what we were doing. Yeah. Well, tell them to speed it up next time or get out. Yeah, let's talk about his wife has triplets.
Bates
She's
story.
pregnant again.
And then I'll do the story. You say that they need a motel, Bates Motel.
Bates.
Yeah, this great job by him right there. The Bates. Mays, yeah.
Yeah.
You betcha.
Yeah. Bates
betcha.
Motel. I'm not going to Bates Motel.
You not?
Should I? No, you use.
Oh, sure. No.
Say his wife got pregnant at the Bates Motel.
No. He has 3 kids,
right,
and his 4th is on the way. So he's going to need a motel real soon to live in.
Okay, all right, motel.
Yeah, I got the story.
Okay, all right, fine.
2 boys and a girl.
All right, I'll say motel, and you say Bates Motel.
Yeah, Bates Motel.
Okay, fine. All right. Okay, all right, okay. Sure. We'll go down and kiss him. We love him.
Yeah, forget the replay then. Is that what you're saying? Oh, it was a great reaction. Good point.
It'll make Rogan's heroes.
That was in the camp. Sorry, Jeff. It was in the camp. I remember now. See, I was the one paying attention. So, 48-yard punt. 10-yard penalty. 10-yard penalty.
You just talk about him, then we'll show the replay.
Bill Bates on the sidelines, one of the real leaders on that special teams unit for the Cowboys.
And the Chargers moving 1st and 10. They started from their 9-yard line, and not much on the side for Marion Butts.
You know, every team needs a guy who's really going to get people fired up on special teams. And here you can see, as Mays tries to get something going on the return, nothing there, and Bates and a couple of his teammates are down there to make the tackle. And watch Bates. He gets up. He's excited. This is a big turnaround play. He lets everybody knows it. He's the veteran guy out there. Come on. Get in this ball game.
On 2nd and 8, a quick pop out to Quinn Early, and he underthrew him. Back to Bill Bates for a moment.
Busy guy at home.
You can't imagine.
He does what I call his daddy aerobics, and you can relate. You have twins. I got 2 kids under the age of 4. He has triplets, and they're 16 months old, 2 boys and a girl. And just found out a month or 2 ago that his wife is pregnant again. That's 4 kids.
With that many kids, he's going to need a motel.
Oh, Bates Motel, I got it. See, I told you I'd follow along here. I'm doing a much better job.
We've just received word that Dean Hamill, Cowboy defensive lineman, has a tightened groin, but he will return to the ball game. And now on 3rd and 8, inside kick to Ronnie Hartman, and nothing going.
And who's leading the charge? Bill Bates. There he is again, number 40, Mr. Enthusiasm. Big series for the Cowboy defense. They've pinned the Chargers down here. Now they'll get the ball back in possibly great field position.
This is what I wanted to point out before, Jim. What is the frustration level of the Cowboy defense continuously holding the Chargers and the offense unable to move the ball in for a score?
What happens, though, defensively, you get your own world, and that becomes our world is a happy place because we're stopping them. And so they feel fine. This could be a position where they might try to block it. They have some schemes in where they think they can put a lot of pressure on the punter. This might be one of those places.
Rod Harris is deep for the Cowboys, and John Kidd punting out of his own end zone for San Diego. Wobbly kick, the fair catch called for and made by Harris.
And importantly for Dallas, no penalties, no penalty flags, so they will start near midfield. 39-yard punt. Now Harris is an interesting guy. He has a country kitchen restaurant he calls Rodski's.
All right, tonight, following the game, NBC News presents a special, The Summit in Helsinki, and that's followed by NBC's double feature night. Polly, starring The Cosby Show's Felicia Rashad, and Keisha Knight-Pullman, and A Fight for Jenny, starring Miami Vice's Philip Michael Thomas and Leslie Ann Warren. What a night. So be with us tonight on NBC. The Cowboys trying to get back into this ball game, have good field position, moving 1st and 10, and it's the inside give to Emmitt Smith.
Boy, Emmitt Smith coming in here just a few days practice. Now his last game in pads was December 30th. And so you go that whole while and you hold out and you're not in pads, and all of a sudden you come in and you're playing against guys who've been in pads. They feel comfortable. They've gone through a preseason. You look at his stats from Florida. What a terrific, gifted runner he is. It's going to take a while, though, for him to learn the system and feel comfortable.
On 2nd and 9, McKinnon couldn't haul it in.
Aikman was hitting that pass in the first drive when they moved the ball so crisply down the field. He's looking up wondering, that pressure's maybe getting to me a little bit. A little quick release on that one.
Is that what happens? Once in a while you start to feel it. You start to sense the defensive lineman coming in, and then you hurry it a little bit and you're just off a little bit.
That's quite possibly what's happening here. He's getting the call from the sideline. Babe Laufenberg is the one on the right, and teams do that. They have 2 people signal in the plays, so there's no chance of stealing it. So one guy's live, one guy isn't. And that might change quarter to quarter.
Aikman is now 0 for 8 in his last pass attempts, and he faces a 3rd and 9 from the 49. Cowboys 2 of 7 on 3rd down conversions. Here comes the rush, and there goes Aikman. It's Lee Williams wrapping him up, the 3rd sack of the game for the Chargers.
Which is what we expected from that Charger front.
Jim, it appears that they've simply beaten on the Cowboy offensive line for so long they're getting tired.
That's true. You know, Lee Williams had 14 sacks last year. Here's the great pressure by Lee, and a good idea by the official to blow the whistle. Leslie O'Neal had a chance to take a shot. You can see number 91, but he pulled off. Good play by O'Neal. Again, Lee Williams just beating his man. Oh, boy.
Lee Williams' motto, attack, seek out, and destroy.
A little bit backwards, but it all sort of applies.
Mission accomplished on that one, Lee. 3:20 to play in the quarter. Mike Saxon is punting for the 6th time. Beautiful kick, very high. Mays calls for the fair catch and wisely watches it roll into the end zone. Now, the best weapon the Cowboys have right now is the right leg of punter Mike Saxon. Next Sunday, NBC is the place to be for great football action. Beginning at 12:30 Eastern with NFL Live. That's Bob Costas, O.J. Simpson, and Will McDonough. Then some of you will see a battle between two of the AFC's top guns. Jim Kelly of the Bills, Dan Marino of the Miami Dolphins. Others will see the Raiders silver and black go against the new wide open offense of the Seattle Seahawks. And anytime you say the Seahawk offense is wide open, it's quite a shock indeed. But stay with us. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. NFL Live. We've got the lineup next Sunday on NBC. Here the Chargers moving 1st and 10. Rod Bernstein is stacked up behind the line. Let me ask you something, Jim. Rod Bernstein started as a tight end.
Right.
What about the transition from tight end to running back?
He played a lot of running back in college at Texas A&M, and so he's familiar with the position. And actually, if you talk to people who've watched Rod over the years, he looks more comfortable in the backfield. He had the most exciting preseason, I think, of any Charger. He gets out in the open there, and he really runs in an exciting fashion.
And perhaps more than anyone, if I'm correct, he has something to prove after coming off that injury.
Absolutely. There's murmurs around camp that maybe he's a little soft. He's not a tough enough guy to play. And he disproved that in the preseason.
On 2nd down over the middle, and Eugene Lockhart knocked it away.
Eugene, the hitting machine. Yeah, that's a rookie, Eugene. Don't let him get away with it. That's the type of stuff that will fire up a defensive unit. And you know, you asked me about this defense. What's going to happen now? It's going to take plays like that where the leaders really get together and say, okay, we have to score on defense to win this game, to turn it around, to give us the spark that we need.
Here in the second half to tell you about the offensive production. San Diego has 1 first down. The Cowboys have none, and we have 2 minutes and 11 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter.
And we have a key 3rd down situation here on the 20-yard line from Mark Vlasic.
3 wide receivers in the game for the Chargers. Setting up the screen to Ronnie Harmon. Harmon trying to get to the outside, but the Cowboys stop him, and the punt-off continues. Tony Tolbert on the stop for Dallas, number 92.
Yeah, they weren't fooled at all by that play. And Tolbert, with a lot of help, was over there to make the play.
You talk about an upset in the world of sports. How about this? At the U.S. Open, the men's final is in the books, and it's Pete Sampras defeating Andre Agassi at the U.S. Open. 6'4", 6'3", and 6'2". Pete Sampras, 19 years old, of Palos Verdes, California. A big victory. Yesterday he knocked out McEnroe, and today he finished off Andre Agassi.
That is a big surprise.
Flag on the play as Kidd boots it away. The fair catch called for and made by Rod Harris at the 35-yard line. Jim Tunney having words with John Kidd. Motion against the Chargers. And Jimmy Johnson says, we don't want any part of that. We'll take the ball.
That's right. We have the ball, decent field position.
Illegal formation, offense, San Diego is declined. 1st down.
See, I'm always in favor of making a team punt over, because that was a very good punt. It came away with just a fair catch. There's always that opportunity for something better to happen. And I always look for, okay, make them punt it again. Something could go wrong.
But let me throw this in. If you were the Cowboys, and let's face it, your field position other than 1 series in this second half has been atrocious, maybe you're happy just to get it to 35.
So, Fred, is the glass half full or is it half empty?
That's right. It depends how you look at it. One more look at the Hertz 10-minute ticker, just running down the late games now. Cleveland still leading Pittsburgh. The Raiders 14-6. That would be a surprise if they beat Denver. Atlanta having a field day with the Houston Oilers. And there's your other games in progress right now. Miami's made a game of it with New England. You see the clock, 1st and 10 from the 35. The give goes to Agee trying the right side, and not much doing.
Yeah, big Joe Phillips over there. A lot of Chargers. Gary Plummer. You know, Phillips is a law student. You see Plummer there. Free agent guy who joined the team. Knew Ron Lynn, the defensive coordinator, from his college days and from his USFL days. And he has just completely asserted himself. He has moved over to a different position to make room for Junior Seau, the 1st-round draft pick. You see Seau, number 55. Doesn't matter to Plummer. He's one of those guys who's going to just dig in and do the best he can.
Clock running, 45 seconds to play in the quarter. 2nd and 6. 3 wideouts in for the Cowboys. Play action, long ball. He wants Dixon. And he was man for man with Sammy Seal, who knocked it away. I'll tell you, Jim, most clubs that I have seen in the preseason after looking at tapes of the Chargers play have gone deep on Sam Seal.
Well, the choice is to go deep on Gilbert. Gilbert had 7 interceptions last year. Gilbert is one of the most gifted cornerbacks and one of the most underrated or underappreciated around the country. Here's Sammy Seal. You can see the contact right there, and that's incidental contact, although the 42,000 plus officials in the stands didn't think so on that play. I think they're still upset by that call against Isaac Holt in the first half that set up that Charger touchdown.
It's the difference in the ball game.
You bet.
Aikman looking at a 3rd and 6 from the 39. 34 seconds to play in the quarter. Trying to quarterback draw. That's been the most efficient weapon they've had today.
But that's the kind of play that a quarterback in Aikman's position runs successfully will spark the rest of his teammates. Okay, guys, we're not having success on the things that we planned. I'm not passing the ball on target or the guys covered, but we can move the ball. Here's one way how. And you can just see how that offensive line just collapsed everybody down in the Charger front, and Aikman ran. Now, last year he tried that 14 times, and 11 times on 3rd and 4th down he was successful. So he knows when to run plays like that.
It took a while, but Troy Aikman and the Cowboys finally picked up a 1st down in the 3rd quarter. Will they get back into the game and tie it? We'll find that out in just a moment. And we'll be right back after these messages from your local station. We've completed 3 quarters.
Thanks. Oh, no.
We try harder. They will not be denied.
We haven't talked Cowboys schedule, if you want to throw that up. 4th toughest schedule.
You want a little on cam, maybe? Here we go.
On cam, we have Betsy Glenn's gloves.
On camera later in the game if we have time. We'll do 3rd quarter stats coming out. You want to do? I'll tell you what I want to do right now.
The pause that refreshes.
They've changed their uniforms.
They have gone back to the old uniforms.
I see some skin.
I think we should follow up on that.
Yes, sweetheart. Yeah, but don't.
I think this is, Fred, you're right. Please explain.
Well,
journalistically, I think we have to point out that the Charger cheerleaders have changed their uniforms.
I mean, listen, Jeff, I think that, rather than looking at the schedule now, what's important now is, well, not even that. What's really important now is that the Cowboys
have a 1st down.
Yeah, they have a 1st down. They're trying to move. What? Really?
Tom, you're on top of it, Tom.
Good. Tom, they're changing, and Tom, you're on top of it. I love that.
Go ahead.
Okay, and I got a little tidbit I want to throw in. Good. There'll be a little something extra for you in your check. Thank you very much. Fred Rogan and Jim Laslovic at Texas Stadium as we begin the 4th quarter of play, and the pass intended for Rod Harris is incomplete. The Dallas Cowboys trailing the Chargers 14-7, and it was not what you would call an exciting 3rd quarter of offense for the Dallas Cowboys. But there is a note we'd like to pass along.
The Cowboy cheerleaders have changed their uniforms. They surprised us all with a new ensemble early in the game, and Fred, journalistically, was able to spot that between the 3rd and 4th quarter that something had changed on the sidelines.
The question is, will the offense change for the Cowboys on the field now? With 3 wide receivers in the game, and there's a completed pass. It's been a while. That one went out to Kelvin Martin.
You got to love the effort by Kelvin Martin, and Troy Aikman just loves the fact that he's completed another pass. But Martin keeps those legs churning and trying to break the tackle. He really has come all the way back from that knee surgery. He had it last November. And another talented receiver. Here, watch this leg action. Come on, let me go. Urgh! Can't quite get loose. Michael Irvin is waiting. He's on injured reserve now. But there's a guy, as the season goes along, you throw in Highsmith and Emmitt Smith, more familiar with this system, and Martin will be getting some help.
And speaking of Emmitt Smith, he's a tailback now. But the Chargers were trying to make some changes defensively. Couldn't get it put together on the field, and wisely took a timeout rather than lose yardage. So with 14 minutes and 17 seconds to play, the Cowboys are trying to score.
Cherokee is an official sponsor